Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to another episode. My name is Brian, and you are watching SpectreFlight Gaming. This is going to be another review on the final ship in the Wave 12 and 13 release for X-Wing. This is going to be the Phantom II, or the Sheathipede-Class Shuttle. Sorry we've had a delay in some uploads. It's been the holiday season. We also had some movies. We saw The Last Jedi. So I haven't had a chance to upload a video, so hopefully this one's not too late and you guys can see what options this ship has to decide if you're going to be buying it for yourself or for a loved one. So let's take a closer look at the ship. I think this is kind of a unique little shuttle. It's from the Rebels TV show. I have just started watching this show. I'm not very far into it, so I haven't actually seen this in the show. I've seen the attack shuttle, which comes with the Phantom, the actual expansion, but I haven't seen this. But based off some of the art that I'm seeing here, there's a good assumption here that it's from the Rebels TV show. So I like the colors. This is a really cool looking ship. It's got cool colors on it. On the fin, it has a really nice logo. I'm not sure what that logo means, but I do like the detailing on it. And the cockpit looks really cool, really detailed, especially between the, you can see in there's that gray little section moving between the cargo hold and the cockpit. Definitely a nice little cool ship. So that is the Phantom II. Let's take a look now at the maneuver dial, because the maneuver dial is the most important part about the ship, because it's going to tell you how fast it is, how maneuverable it is, and kind of if it's going to fit in your play style. So starting off with the ones, we have one straight and one bank, and the banks are white. In the twos, we have all the options available. The straight and the banks are green, and the hard is white. In the threes, we have the three hard turns, which are red. The whites are the bank, and then the three straight. I think it's interesting that we don't have a three bank green. I think that would have made the shuttle really, really good and given us some good options with it. But we do have a 3K turn, so it gives us a good option of turning around without having to go too far out of the combat. The 4K can push you a little bit further out. And we do have a 4 straight. It's the only one we have, and it is red. So not quite a maneuverable ship, but it's not as slow as a lot of other larger like bomber ships are. But it's not a fighter, which you can see in the actual card slots here. So let's take a look at the pilots. There's only 4 pilots that come with this expansion. In fact, this expansion is actually fairly small, and I would argue that this is one of those expansions that you only buy one of. There's one card in here though that makes me want to buy multiples of this expansion, and we'll get to that last. But for the most part, this is most likely a buy once and then you're done with it kind of expansion. So the first pilot we have is a PS1 AP5. He is a unique pilot, so I don't know who that is. Could be a droid. I'm not quite sure. Sounds like a droid. And AP5, like I said, comes at pilot skill 1 at 15 points. So this will be our base marker. I love the fact that it's so cheap. Really good, actually efficient ship. And getting a action, like an actual ability, at 15 points is pretty cool. So we have 2 attack, 2 agility, 4 hull, and 1 shield. So again, another ship that's pretty beefy for the amount of points it costs. I mean, if you compare this to a TIE fighter, it's relatively the same cost. It's not doing too bad. It also has an auxiliary arc, so it can shoot from the rear as well as the front. Down at the action bar, you have focus, target lock, and the coordinate ability. We will get to the coordinate ability here in a second. Let me pull up that on the computer. So coordinate says ships with the coordinate icon. It's the 3 arrows. In their action bar may perform a coordinate action. To do so, choose another friendly ship at range 1 to 2. Then the chosen ship may immediately perform 1 free action. So this is helping you in the action economy, which I've talked about all the time. Anytime you can take additional actions or assist in those actions, really helps push yourself. And so this helps someone, you know, that say one of your aces or one of your larger ships needs to do multiple things at one time, say target locks and focuses. This helps them, especially if you have a ship that needs to use a target lock to fire a missile, but you want to have a focus to ensure you have the maximum damage. The shuttle will kind of help be that support role to push that damage through. So that's really cool. So he has a coordinate ability. He also has the droid upgrade icon, the Astromech, as well as a crew slot. So what is his ability? When you perform the coordinate action, after you choose a friendly ship and before it performs a free action, you may receive 2 stress tokens to remove 1 stress token from it. So this is awesome because, you know, there could be potential options where they need to have a stress to, like, no stress to be able to do what their action is, or really any kind of situation. You can basically put a lot of stress on this guy and say, who cares about my stress? And just keep your other guys stress free, especially if they're doing K turns or 3 turns with reds, like say the ARC 170. Definitely a cool little ship. Definitely really unique. And in fact, from what I'm hearing online and from some of our play groups, that the AP5 is one of the best pilots in this expansion for the cost to the ability ratio. It's a really good ship. So let's get to the next guy. We have Zeb. I know him from Rebels. He is a 3 pilot skill, coming at 16 cost. Everything else is the same, so let's read his ability. When defending, you may cancel a crit result before the hit results. So this is unique. It's not impressive. It's cool, but generally in X-Wing, if you have evades, you would cancel the hits before you cancel the crits, and that makes the crits more damaging, more threatening. So being able to cancel the critical abilities prior to the hits helps a lot. But as a pilot ability, like actually on my ship, I don't know if that's the skill that I'd rather have. I'd rather have AP5 who can take away stress from my allies, and while stressing himself out because he doesn't really care too much, before I want to do this. So Zeb, I feel like you're going to be having a hard time finding a slot in most lists, but he is only 1 cost more, and he gets 2 extra pilot skills. So if you need pilot skill, that's an option. We have next is Ezra. Ezra is a pilot skill 5, coming in at 17 cost, so 2 higher than AP5. When defending, if you are stressed, you may change up to 2 of your focus results to evade results. That's actually really cool. When defending, if you're stressed, you may change up to 2 of your focus results to evade results. That's really cool. I like that a lot. He has the EPT ability on there, so if you wanted to, you can say push the limit to actually stress yourself, to get yourself to have those evades, those free evades, potentially free evades if you get the focuses. So that's actually a unique ability. I think it's actually really cool. And this actually pushes Ezra a little higher than Zeb. Of course, you're paying for that with 1 extra cost, and comparable to AP5 in terms of my recommendations and my opinion on that ship. So the next one we have is Fenn Rau. He is actually pretty high on the pilot skills, so 9. Yeah, I feel like 9 is like, you have to be like a really special pilot to be 9. Like that's Darth Vader territory. That's Han Solo territory. That's the aces, right? And so here we have a little shuttle at PS9. So that's interesting to think of. Fenn Rau. He has a wall of text. So he also has the EPT ability. And his ship pilot ability is when an enemy ship inside your firing arc at range 1 to 3 becomes the active ship during the combat phase. So if he's sitting here and his arc's there and someone else is now, it's that ship's turn to fire. That's the timing for this. If you are not stressed, you may receive 1 stress token. If you do, the ship, that ship, the one that's activating inside your firing arc, that ship cannot spend tokens to modify its dice when attacking this round. So that's, wow. I like that ability. It kind of feels like a variant of Omega Leader. He costs 20, so he's actually cheaper than Omega Leader. Doesn't have a system upgrade, but he has that EPT and the Astromech plus the crew. I mean, you could put Fenn Rau with that Conan guy that everyone puts on Rey to keep stresses off. You know, you take the stress, force that person to not be able to modify their dice. This is a good card. This is really good, actually. Fenn Rau. I mean, what can you say? This is a very, very powerful ability. Being able to shut down your opponent's ability to use combat dice or to modify their dice is really, really good. It doesn't shut them down like Omega Leader does on defense, so you won't be able to turn them off on when you're shooting them, obviously, so they can still use their dice to be modified there. But this ability, this is probably my most favorite pilot out of this expansion by far. So there we go, Fenn Rau. So let's go ahead and get to, we're going to do this one last because I told you I would. So let's get to the title. The title is the Phantom II. This is a free upgrade, it looks like. No cost on there. While you are docked, the Ghost can perform primary weapon attacks from its special firing arc. While you are docked, at the end of the activation phase, the Ghost may perform a free coordinate action. So while he is docked inside the Ghost, because he has coordinate, the Phantom II has coordinate, the Ghost may perform another free coordinate action. So that's kind of a cool ability. That is the Phantom II title. We also have a Ghost title. This is for the actual, the bigger ship, the VCX 100. So by buying this expansion, you actually get a title for that ship, which is kind of interesting. Equip the Phantom II title card to a friendly Sheathipede-Class Shuttle. So that's this title. So let me pull up both. Actually, we'll have them both on the screen, so I don't really need to do that. Equip the Phantom II title card to a friendly Sheathipede-Class Shuttle and dock it to this ship, the Ghost. After you execute a maneuver, you may deploy it from your rear guides. And so basically that's a free title there. So you're going to be putting that on your VCX 100 anyways. And then, of course, the Phantom II title costs nothing as well. So now we have some crew. We have 2 crew, and we're actually going to do Maul. So this might be a little spoiler for me because I haven't seen Rebels far enough, but we have Maul here. Maul is a scum-only crew member, but he has a little bit of an option here. Ignore the restriction if your squad contains Ezra Bridger. So that's interesting. This is opening up some design space. So you have a scum-only guy, but if you have Ezra somewhere in your fleet, or your squad, this guy can be placed onto your rebel ships. When attacking, if you are not stressed, you may receive any number of stress tokens to reroll that many attack dice. After performing an attack that hits, you may remove one of your stress tokens. I love it. That's cool. I love the design of this card. I love the fact that it kind of goes with what Maul is in terms of who I know of him as a character. And I love that this entire expansion is revolving around the idea of stress, removing stress, adding stress to be able to do things, and making you as a player understand that, yes, stress is bad, but we can utilize it to our advantage and maybe give you additional options to remove stress in other ways. So that's Maul. Really, really like that. And then we have 2 guys that actually go together. One's a droid and one is well, they're both droids, but one's an actual astromech, the other is a crew. The first one is Courier Droid. So Courier Droid actually has both what looks like Chopper in the background there, and then the Courier Droid in the front. And what I love about this card is that Chopper is like a little murderer hanging out in the background. Very subtle. Pretty cute. But the Courier Droid says, at the start of the place forces step, you may choose to treat your pilot skill value as 0 or 8 until the end step. So I have a hard time visualizing what I want to do with this. The 8 is great, but it's this is basically a card that you place to get your guys later onto the field. That way you can assess what your opponents are doing first. And then you use Chopper, the actual astromech, to destroy them to get a shield back. So let's take a look at Chopper because it kind of goes in line with it. Chopper is a unique card. Action, discard one other equipped upgrade card to recover 1 shield. And I love it because in Chopper's art, he's basically destroying the Courier Droid. So these two guys go together hand in hand. You have Courier Droid that basically says we're going to be a pilot skill 8 for the place forces step. And then when you lose a shield and you recover it, Chopper's there to say, I got you, boy. So there we go. The final card of this expansion. So this expansion is fairly small comparatively to a lot of other expansions that we've looked at, is we have Flight Assist Astromech. This card is really cool, and I think this is part of the small fixes for the X-Wing, the 65, the T65. I think this is like those micro adjustment fixes to make those better ships. So the Flight Assist Astromech says you cannot attack ships outside your firing arc. Not a big deal if you're in, say, an X-Wing or a T-70. After you execute a maneuver, if you do not overlap a ship or obstacle, and there are no enemy ships inside your firing arc at range 1 to 3, you may perform a free boost or barrel roll action. I love this. So be able to gives you a chance to do, depending on your pilot, 3 actions for free. If you say do like push the limit, seeing you'll be able to do a boost, then take a target lock, then push the limit to or for a focus. I really love that. I really, really like that. And the fact that you say we're actually testing this card right now on Blue Ace. Blue Ace has the one turn boost option, and I've seen some really, really cool plays with Blue Ace and Flight Assist Astromech to be able to do some really cool sloops around people. And so that's where I'm building a list right now to kind of take advantage of that and to see how it does potentially for some regional events coming up. So this is the card, though, that I would love to have multiples of because it is not a unique card. You can have as many as you want of them on the field. But if you look at the rest of the cards in the pack, everything is almost unique except for Courier Droid, and you really don't want too many of him. But everything else, literally everything else, is a unique card. So do you spend $15 for another Flight Assist Astromech? I don't know. That's a hard choice. I would like to have 2 of them because I think it's a really, really good Astro. And I would hate to say go on eBay and buy it there because you're going to be paying $5 for just the card. So why not just get the rest of the expansion pack with it? So that's my review. What do you guys think? Is this a ship that you guys would fly? Do you have any lists that you've been working on? I would love to see someone throw me a list with Fenn Rau in it because I really like that guy. I think he's got a really cool ability. And I've been flying a lot of Rebels lately. I started off, with Imperial, but man, I am flying Rebels like crazy, and I don't know what it is, but definitely enjoying the light side dance for now. So if you guys have a list, I'd love to take a look at it and maybe build it myself and fly it. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comments section down below. We'll love to hear it from you. Talk to you guys soon. Keep flying. If you like what we're doing here, subscribe by clicking our logo or the button below. Don't forget to like and leave us a comment. If you're looking for more great Star Wars content, try one of our other videos. See you next time at SpectreFlight Gaming.